What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joe, and today we're going to be working on the CRV once again. Like I said, expect a lot of CRV content. I love my V, and I got a lot of plans for it. So today we're going to be replacing the stock grill and gonna try and emulate an EM1 grill, so like a 99 through 2000 Civic Si. And most of the time when people do this, they use the metal mesh, and I kind of didn't want that. I wanted it to look somewhat factory, so I was able to find some plastic mesh that actually looks just like an EM1 grill. So we're gonna be doing that today, and then also if not today, it will be tomorrow for me, but it'll still be in the same video for you guys. We're going to be replacing the upper control arms for the front, so that way I'm able to adjust camber. I need to go a little bit more positive than I am right now, just to save my tires, because my tires are starting to wear out pretty good. So I'm going to do that. And also, one last thing, I've been getting a lot of questions as far as the wiring harness for the fog lights. It's already installed in the car, so I can't really like show you exactly what I did, but I will give you the gist of what I did, and I'll try and get some as good a shots as I can, since everything is kind of tucked. I like to be clean whenever I do stuff, so I'll go ahead and show that. That way you guys at least have a better idea than me just telling you guys like there should be wire harness videos on YouTube, that kind of thing. So I will show you what I did. It's not hard, but with the 06, 07 Accord, the battery is actually on the driver's side. So our CRVs, obviously the battery's on the passenger side. So I will show you guys what I did to compensate for that. It's not a big thing. It's really easy to do. And yeah, so I'll get all that done today. Alright, so those that have never worked on a CRV before, or this is your first CRV and say you want to do this mod first, I'm just going to kind of give you the rundown of what you need to take off the grill. So there is 4 screws. So there's this guy, there's that guy, and that guy at the end. And then inside there, let's see if I can get it. There are a screw there. There is a screw there, and can I get it? And a screw there. Those you just need to loosen, because the piece that goes in there is almost like a fork, so it just slides to the left and right of that screw on either side. And then once you do that, this thing just pulls straight out. Really easy. Focus. There you go. Really easy. So I think I should just have to undo these screws. There's a bunch of these little guys on the back side of these, and I think if I unscrew that, this whole piece comes out, and then it should be as easy as putting the mesh on, measuring it up, and holding it down. I'm going to try and use these possibly as washers, and that way I don't have to do no gluing or anything. If not, then I got a hot glue gun ready to go to get the mesh on there and secure. Alright, so let's get going. Alright, so took out all those screws. There's about 8 screws. That's actually gonna be for this outer plastic piece. So plan is cut all along this bottom section up here, and then I'm just gonna cut like halfway, probably like 1/4 inch in from this inner edge here, 1/4 inch in all the way, and then I'll turn it around. I'll most likely be cutting right to that line, the front side. That way it'll look as clean as possible, and I really want to make sure I don't cut this line, because this line is kind of like important. So what I'm going to do is try and get as close to this line as possible without messing it up. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and I'm gonna be cutting it with my drill with a cutoff wheel attachment. Alright, so I got all the center cut out. I'm gonna have to go through and clean up all these edges, make them nice and even. All this up here is just melted plastic, so all that'll just come off. No big deal. When you do this, you gotta make sure and be careful to not cut those off, because those are the mounting points for the grill, and we definitely want to keep those. I mean, there is the two outers, but then you'd have the centerpiece that's just kind of like moving back and forth while you're driving, and it won't look all that great. So that's what the back looks like. I tried and cut it as clean as I could with, like I said, with it actually had that guy on it, but now I got my my little grinding wheel here, and that'll help me clean up all this, make it all nice and smooth and flat and all that good stuff. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then we will get to showing you the mesh and getting that cut off also. Alright, so this is the plastic mesh that I got off of eBay, I think it was. It's about 16 inches tall by about 48 inches long, 47 inches long, something like that, or 45, something like that. It's pretty long though. So I thought this was cool because it kind of, it's similar. I mean, it's not identical, but it's similar to the SI grill. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out. I need a 7-inch by 29-inch piece. That's what I'm gonna start off with, and I'm gonna have to trim it. And if I have to glue gun it instead of using the hardware for the front fascia, I think I'm gonna try and use that hardware. We'll see though. We'll see what happens. I'll take it by ear, and I'll let you guys know what I use and get it going. Alright, so we are almost done. That's the old inner grill. This is the new grill all on. I haven't secured it yet. I am actually going to be using a hot glue gun. I'm just going to leave it how it is. I could have trimmed all this to make it kind of go around that radius right there that goes around this corner and through. But I mean, I just cut up spaces just so I can get the screws back in to put that front plate on here. But once I get it on, I'll show you the front side, because trying to hold it and videotape it is not easy. If you guys can get one of these, it's called a burr knife. It's literally a little knife. It's meant to shave steel and aluminum and metals. So using it on the plastic, it made life so much easier to clean up corners and clean up edges and that kind of thing. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I gotta wait for the glue gun to heat up. I just barely plugged it in, so I'll go ahead and show you it glued afterwards. Turn it around so you can see the front, and then this will be done. Pretty easy. Scale of 1 to 10, about a 2, just because cutting it and that kind of thing, you just have to be careful. But yeah, if you take your time and just watch where you're cutting and watch what you're doing, you'll be fine, and it'll come out clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this warm up and get back to you guys. Alright guys, so it is all done. That's what it looks like from the back. I trimmed it up after it was all glued down. I basically just glued like the center section, all the corners, and then I went back and hit in between all those sections, so that way it's super secure and I don't have to worry about it falling out. And that is what it looks like afterwards. I'm gonna go ahead and put the that front piece that screws onto here, so that way it doesn't look so weird. But I mean, that's as close to like aftermarket looking factory option that I think, at least in my head, that it could be. Because if you go up close, it's the nice plastic, so it goes with the rest of the plastic grill, so it doesn't look kind of funny. And they're thick enough. They're thick enough in between all these little honeycomb deals that it just looks simple, and it looks stock-ish. If that's even a word, stock-ish. It's good. I like it. Let's see what it looks like on the car. So let me go ahead and put that piece back on and then throw it back on the car. Alright guys, so you're asking about the wiring. Now, the wiring for the fog lights is what I mean. The Accord, sorry, before I kind of get ahead of myself, the Accord's battery is right here on the 06 Accord. So the battery is right here on the driver's side front. Obviously our battery is back there. So all I did was the plastic loom. This is what loom is, just in case you didn't know. This is the plastic loom that it comes with. I separated it, okay? So I left the loom on the power and the ground to the battery, and then I separated the loom, took the plastic completely off from the switch to the relay to there's a little red, a single red wire that has a gray plug on it that plugs into the factory Accord harness under the dash somewhere. So all I did was separate that loom. That way it gave me way more wire from this guy, which is the relay. So once I did that, once I separated it, it gave me a ton more room. So I was able to feed it through there. That's actually the cruise control port. And I actually have a grommet for that I have to put in there that I just keep forgetting about. You guys can probably use right there, that guy right there. You can just pop a little hole and you can feed a wire through and tie the and you can probably feed the rest of the stuff through there. The plug for the switch isn't very big. It's probably like that big. It's probably like maybe ½ inch big. And you can feed it through there. Otherwise, you can do what I did. And since I don't use cruise control, since I have my Momo steering wheel, I got rid of that sucker and I just used that, and it was super easy. This. All right. So, excuse the mess. I haven't came under here and cleaned anything, like cleaned it up. You see where that red wire is coming out of? See that right there? That is a little, see, can I get a better shot at it right there? Kind of, sort of. I think that's probably the best shot right there. That is a little male connector, right? So you can put a female butt connector on the wire and put it directly on that. So to make sure that you're getting the right one, get a test light or a multimeter to check voltage. And with the key off, right? With the key off, there should be no power going to there. But when you turn the key on, that's when power is available. So I did that with my test light to fit that wire. So that is all I did as far as any wiring that involved splicing or any of that stuff. I didn't have to do any of that. I just put a female butt connector and plugged it directly into my fuse box there. And everything works. Everything is hunky-dory. Not hard. Super basic, super simple. And I hit my mirror. But yeah. Alright, so the grill is on. Excuse my chair, it's screaming. It looks so much better. Going from that to that. I might do an emblem later, not sure yet. I think I'm just gonna run it nice and clean like that for now. Let me show you. pretty clean. I like it. Came out good. So, if you like what you just saw, go ahead and smack that like button. We'll go ahead and move on to the upper control arms. So I'll go ahead and get her up on jack stands and jump you guys over to that right now.
Alright guys, so it's been about a week since the last scene that you saw with the grill. I ordered a bunch of parts and I figured I'd just wait on them so that we could do it all in one day instead of having to do it in multiple days, is like when they get here, that kind of thing. So like I said, I wanted to tell you about the upper control arm for the stock CRV, and if you're going to lower it like I did with these coilovers, there is a little lip that sits here, and it's probably about like a 1/4 inch out. Now, if you put coilovers on it, I don't know about with springs. I don't think it's low enough for springs or to do this, but with coilovers for sure. If you want that nice like tire to fender fitment, it's legit gonna happen. So what happens is this lip, it gets stuck inside here. I have all this cut because of the wheels that I'm running, so that way I can go negative and it won't rub. But you guys will have a lip that'll go basically across here, right? And this thing forces itself into here and it gets stuck, and then you're screwed. And the only way to get it out is removing these 2 bolts inside the engine bay. And that's the only real way you're going to be able to get that loose and have it drop down again. So what you do is you grind this and you just round it off just till the metal, just to get rid of that lip. Okay, you can kind of see the lip right here. This lip continued around the front side and then it goes back that way. So I just got rid of the lip and it's fine. I've been running on it for about a year now and it's fine. But now I have the True Heart upper control arms that have the camber adjustment. So I'm going to be swapping those out today. And then I also have the True Heart reverse tie rod end, the outer tie rod, and then I also bought new tie rod for the inners, new tie rods for the inners. Because this one, I mean, I get a little clunking in my steering, so I'm pretty positive this is what's causing it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I can actually show you how close this gets. So let me get a jack and jack up the hub, and that way I can show you guys. Alright guys, so I got the jack up there just so I can kind of simulate what you guys will be seeing. And if you can see it, if it'll focus up there, I know it's kind of out of the focus range there. But at the very top there, you see a bunch of white and gray. That's where it actually got stuck on me initially when I lowered it for the very first time. So you just seen the lip and how it looks up close. So let me lower this back down. That way I can show you. And my jack is crying. All right, so there. You see that right there? That's where I got stuck. And I was stuck about 10 miles from my house, so I had to gently drive this thing home with the A-arm stuck up at the very top of the tunnel. So it happened on both sides. So learn from my mistake. Round this guy off. That way you don't have to worry about it. It only took me a whole like minute and a half to do. So I mean, save yourself the headache. It's a lot more work to have to unbolt the control arms, pull it all back down, and then reset it all back up. It's a pain in the ass. So learn from me. Round that sucker off. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the control arm, replace it with the True Heart one. I don't think you guys need a tutorial, but I said that about the wiring and you guys kept asking about wiring. So I will show you in the engine bay where these two bolts are. This is the passenger side, by the way. Where the two bolts go. One's underneath the battery tray, which is kind of a pain in the ass because you have to remove the battery tray to get to it, at least to get a wrench in there. And then this one is really easy. It's facing the front of the car, obviously. And then this guy, which this should only take maybe about 30 minutes, if that, just to replace them. Not to actually like dial it in and all that stuff, but just to replace them. 30 minutes for both sides. It's pretty easy. So yeah, I'll go ahead and show you the top, and we'll continue. Alright, so the video is going to go a little fucking sideways, sorry about that, but that's one bolt right there. The other one, it's really tucked in there. It's right, oh fuck, I don't even think you guys can see that. It's right there. You can kind of see the gold. You can kind of see the glimmer of it right there. Right there. So that's it. So you can actually get a wrench on the front side from here, but then actually getting it out, it's underneath the battery tray, so it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world to get. So we'll take out the battery, remove the battery, and then driver's side is actually easy, especially because I removed all my cruise control. So all my cruise control is gone. So there's one there, and the other one is, oh, you can't really see it from as far away as I am, but it's right there. You can kind of see it, kind of, sort of. Alright, so the battery tray's out, just so you can see what I was talking about. There's the bolt right there. So the battery tray up. It's two 12s, one on each side, or two on each side, sorry. And that guy right there is going to be so much easier. I'll probably just take the intake off just to get out of the way. Alright. So there's the factory one, and obviously the True Hearts. You can see, basically I took that whole front end, because that lip, like I said, the lip continues all the way around the front. Get rid of that whole lip, and I've been fine. I just need to adjust camber, so that's why I got these. Alright, so passenger side is in. I got it to the general area I want it to be. I threw the wheel on, and I got it as straight as I possibly could. I have a camber gauge that adjusts, or it has a little bubble level on it, and it moves to how far the camber is. So it's got negative measurements and it's got positive measurements, or vice versa, whatever. But I'm not 100% confident in it, so I just basically eyeballed it, and I got as close to the lip as I could from here, just so it's nice and straight, or straight, instead of it being in, because it was pretty far in, the front was. So now it's not perfectly straight, but it's a lot closer. All right, so like I kind of had expected. Let's see, this can come out. But those inner tie rods are shot, so it's a good thing I have the new ones. And with the reverse tie rod, reverse outer tie rods from True Heart, this will actually mount like that. But obviously, they'll be those guys and not that shit. So this piece goes up, that goes down, little tapered end there goes towards the tie rod, and then the nut goes there, and then it angles, and everything is happy and hunky-dory, and we're good. Alright guys, so new tie rod is in. It's super tight, just like it should be. Once I get the tie rod in there, on here, the outer, it'll be a lot easier to maneuver, just because it's so small. It doesn't really go anywhere.
So this is the old one right here, and I mean it was just like, it was terrible. So that was the noise that I heard every once in a while in my steering. So yeah, got that on. Had to go to Harbor Freight to get this guy. Where's the... I went in this wrong way. I sure am. Yeah, this guy was $37, and it comes with. I don't want to say every single one that you'll ever need, but for a Honda, it had exactly what I needed. Honda is supposed to be 33.6 is the measurement, but the one that worked for these tie rods for whatever reason was 1.25. 33.6 was a little too big. So yeah, worked out pretty good. It's got this little lock ring on there, so once you get this guy on here, you turn the little lock ring and it locks that in place so it doesn't move. And pretty quick. It literally only took me about 30 seconds to unscrew the old one, put the new one on, and screw it back on and tighten it down with that. Now I tightened it like just nice and snug. There might be, I'm sure there is, a torque spec for that, but I really don't give a shit. If I'm honest, I really don't care. As long as it's nice and snug, and everything else obviously is going to be nice and snug, then I shouldn't have to worry about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. I'm not gonna show you guys the other side because it makes no sense to show you two of the same exact things, just obviously reversed. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll go ahead and get it on the ground and see where we're at. And I'm probably gonna do the camber first, and then I'll worry about the tie rods, or I mean the toe. So right now, that where this sits is roughly where that guy sat. So that's the nut from the other one. So I just basically matched to where that's at. So I'll just screw the outer tie rod into there until it hits that and stops, and then I'll just leave it alone. And then obviously go do the other side, do the same exact thing, and go from there. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next shot. Alright guys, so little side note. When you're tightening this guy, and you're trying to line up that cotter pin hole, you never want to back it up to get the hole aligned. You always just want to keep going forward. Because if you back it up, you risk the nut loosening and snapping that cotter pin, and it'll be all bad from there. So just remember that when you're trying to tighten this thing to get that cotter pin hole, you always want to tighten. You never want to loosen to get that cotter pin hole. Always tighten. Alright, but she's in. I actually had to go a lot more forward. So when you're replacing this, you really don't want to touch this, and you really don't want to move it at all. So you want to get it as close to straight where you had it initially. So initially when you park it and you jack it up and everything, you want to make sure wheels are straight, steering wheel is straight, all that good stuff, so that way you don't have to touch this. So I had to back it up, which isn't a big deal. Like I said, we're going to do the string method, and we'll make it even from side to side. But looks good. New tie rods on. I actually just forgot something. I forgot the boot. So it looks like I'm going to have to take that apart and throw the boot back on, and then go ahead and do the other side. Alright guys, all done as far as camber adjustment and toe adjustment. So just to recap on what we did today, as well as what we did earlier in the video, is did the front grille, and then today we did the inner and outer tie rods. We got the True Heart reversed outer tie rods, and we got the True Heart upper camber adjusting A-arms. It all came out pretty nice. And as far as suspension, that's basically all I'm gonna do. I may upgrade coilovers from the K Sports to something nicer later on down the road. Only other thing besides that is I'll probably get higher rated springs for the front, because all the weight's in the front, obviously. So I think I want to go with 16Ks, 16 or 18Ks, because right now they're 10. Just so it's a lot stiffer and I'm not having to bottom out on like some of the crazy dips that are around here. I've had a long day. V is coming out really good. I couldn't be happier with the progress of the V. Also, if you are in the Temecula area on Tuesday, Temecula Tuesdays is happening this Tuesday, the 20th. So come on down. It's going to be from 5 to 8, I believe. It's always a good time. It's always pretty packed down there, and there's a wide range of cars, from imports to muscle cars to crazy exotics. There's always cool stuff down there. So you can see me and the V down there on Tuesday. So if you liked the video, if it helped you guys out at all, go ahead and do me a favor. Hit that like button. If you don't already subscribe to me also. There's a lot more CRV content, a lot more show and personal vlog stuff coming as well. Thank you guys very much for stopping by, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace.